Hello everybody, welcome to This Is Why We Glitch, apparently.
Hi everyone.
I think
yes.
that may have been my...
Right, you've just gone robot. Yeah, sorry about that, everyone. It was fine, and then it went weird, and then it went fine, and then it went weird again. So, welcome to the show, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. How are you, Jordan?
I'm doing well.
Well,
Thank you. How are you? What the hell is happening?
The thing with the intro is we can't play the video because it glitches too much. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll give it a try next time. Playing the video again. It just won't have it for some reason.
It may work. We'll find out.
Not on YouTube.
We're not on YouTube. Hey, look, all I'm saying, this level of boomerism is nothing to do with us.
No, they're all connected. Oh, Twitch is saying that we're not connected. But we are connected to YouTube, so I'm not sure why it's not there.
We go. Andrew says we are.
Yay.
Thank you. And who knows, maybe it went weird.
It's just Restream doing what it does best.
I just noticed we still have the Easter background.
Oopsie.
No, I like the little bee. He's so friendly and happy.
Okay, we'll leave it up then. I was going to change it.
No, it can stay.
So, while you're saying your hellos, what's everyone been up to over the last week? And how have you all been? And what have you been up to today, Jordan?
Today, I'm trying to remember what the hell I did today. I'm not sure what I've done today. Today has not been a very productive day, it must be said. I got looking into something last night, and I think I burnt out all my useful energy for this weekend. It was productive, though. I'm actually kind of interested. And I had this idea of making like a little DIY drill press. How that's going to work exactly, I have no idea.
What does that do?
It's a drill. It just drills holes in a straight line, like a perfectly
a drill
straight
press.
line.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's a dual press. Okay.
I don't know what. Andrew's frost.
Oh no, Andrew! I lost my seeds, as I mentioned on the gardening stream. Well, half of them. Some seem to be recovering. Others are, I'm afraid, done. It wasn't the frost, though, weirdly, or the cold that killed them. It was the wind. It just snapped them. So that's a bit frustrating.
Which ones seem to have come back? Or is it just a 50 mix across all of them?
It was just the tomato seeds. And they were the organic Mediterranean ones that Jonathan recommended, because they'd be sort of early bloomers, as the phrase goes. But some of them do seem to be recovering, so we'll see. But I'm keeping them inside at the moment, and they're getting feed and water and regular temperatures. Once it warms up a bit outside, I'll try again. This is why I'd normally start some things off in a pot, just in case, because that weather's so unpredictable.
You should knit him a little jacket.
Ha ha ha. So I know that a few people said that they had either ordered or received seeds. So I hope everyone else is getting ready to plant some food this year and take advantage of our wonderful English summer. Cottony Nutjob has just baked some homemade biscuits, waiting for them to cool. Very nice. Drop a picture, please, on the Discord once they're done.
What sort of biscuits? This is the all-important question. Are they gingerbread biscuits? Or are they something else?
Oh, not you too, Daffyd. Oh, that's a shame. Frost-free coast. Wow. It's one of those things, isn't it? I mean, we're sometimes blessed with a great summer. Sometimes we have a late start or an early finish. I suppose with experience, we'll get used to these things. The only productive thing I've done today actually is made a cottage pie, which was delicious, by the way.
I was just about to ask you how it was. I didn't ask you earlier on.
Yeah, I've got a feeling we're going to be talking about food tonight for some reason. Yeah, indeed. Whatever will be, will be. There's nothing we can do about it, really. Okay, so what else have you been up to, chat? So Daffod's proffered some information. We're still waiting to find out about those biscuits. Please, please, please. And yeah, Andrew, I hope your seeds survive. So waiting on Cockney Nutjob to tell us what kind of biscuits he's made.
Lady Saxon said evening bacon lady. That could only possibly be towards Philomena.
Philomena, yep. Yeah, bacon and chocolate. Two of the best things that were ever created, though, to be fair.
No, chocolate is F tier.
No, of course it's not rubbish.
Well, at the very least, it's very boring.
What? There's loads of great things you can do with chocolate.
No, you do lots of things with it, fair enough, but it in and of itself is quite dull.
No, we're going to have to disagree on this. Chocolate's amazing. I will say, though, I don't eat a lot of chocolate. I have to really be in a mood for it.
Because it's naff. Thank you for agreeing with me.
No, so it remains a treat. Otherwise, I would abuse it. Philomena has the answer here. Anyone who doesn't like chocolate, I've got really deep suspicions. Oh dear.
Dream. Digging, breaking a handle, stabbing a feed with the 20mm chisel. Usual stuff.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't call that living the dream. Oh, so Francis, I like your Pepe. That's amazing. Pepe the pig, I guess.
I can't see it. 1 minute, I'll bring it up. Probably YouTube can't see it. Oh no, I can't see it there either. 1 minute, I'm going to have to actually go to DLive. Bloody hell. I normally only get there right.
There you go. Butter, almond, vanilla, and nutmeg biscuits. They sound amazing, actually. Except I hate like almond. Well, I hate almond and nutmeg, but they sound amazing.
Okay, right. So out of this...
Vanilla and butter. Spacehopper Mark says, original dark chocolate orange. Living Man Not Dead Fiction says, I eat chocky every night, but never eat it during the day, lol, like some kind of chocolate vampire. Is there a reason why you only eat it in the evening? I read
something the other week. Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
I read something the other week about vampires that kind of blew my mind. The reason they can't see themselves in mirrors is because back in the day they used to be silver-lined.
So more like they avoided mirrors and there was no reflection.
Well, no, I imagine it was because of part of the same mythos that they got stabbed by a bullet and they'd die. Obviously, silver and them, they don't mix very well.
Oh, no, silver bullets, werewolves. It's a stake in the heart. Yeah, it's a stake in the heart for vampires.
Just in general, it was. I thought it was intelligent. Clearly, it was not. It was Pleblican level of thought.
Wow, Pleblican. Big. We're going big now. Roy Bob says, handle got fixed, free paint job. Well, fair enough. Maybe you are living the dream. Zant says, used to be a normal Saturday for blokes. Yes, it did. I
want to get back to this. This is...
Oh, bacon Pepe. Not bad.
Just as David said, I like the idea of bacon Pepe, though.
Yeah, but Pepe the pig does work. Do you not think?
Pepe the pig?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a riff on Peppa Pig.
It's also a riff on Pepe Le Pew, and I'm not sure I like it.
Well, I didn't say Le Pig. Oh my God. There is a meme for everything. Vampire Pepe is in the house. How?
Really?
Did someone just make that? Living Man Not Dead Fiction says, it's just that I never fancy sweet food in the day, but after 8 p.m, that's it. I need chocolate. You're the inspiration for After 8s, aren't you? Own up. It was you.
Do you like After 8s?
I do. Weirdly, I only have them at Christmas. It's one of our
Same here.
traditions.
I quite like them. I don't really have any of them. Pleasant, but that's it. It's just Christmas and New Year, and then all over.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Christmas because if you get me on that subject, that will be the show.
Look, all I know
Um,
is we're not having a month-long Christmas fest like last year.
but I will ask the chat: is there anything you eat at specific times of year that you don't eat any other time?
Typically, people only have barbecues during the summer, and I really don't know why.
Well, I meant more on a specific day or like a holiday, a celebration. So Francis says, I saw Fright Night. That vampire was giving me Epstein vibes. Good film. Are you talking about the original one, Sir Francis, or the NAF remake? Oh, the original one I
So,
thought was excellent.
by giving you Epstein vibes, what you mean is he was suicidal.
He didn't kill himself. That's what
No,
you
no,
mean,
no, no,
right?
no. He was suicidal, obviously. We all know this.
Yeah, Living Man Not Dead fiction confirms. The inspiration for After Eights. We're famous by association. Oh my goodness. Roy Bob says, definitely more surviving the nightmare than living the dream. Well, we'll see. Yeah, okay, Adam, come on. Turkey's an obvious one, but I meant things like, I don't know, like After Eights at Christmas.
Do you
Or,
have turkey at any other time of year?
I genuinely do not.
I don't do turkey, so I'm fully on board with that attitude.
Brussels sprouts, only eat them at Christmas, to be honest. I know a lot of people only eat them at Christmas, and only because it's tradition, or maybe because they have to clear their plates. But I don't know what it is about Brussels sprouts, like little snot balls. I just don't like them. They smell rank while they're cooking. They smell rank after people have eaten them. And yeah. Cockney Nutjob says, I only eat dates at Christmas, no idea why. Is it
Dates are
because
lovely.
Is it because you don't like them very much? You only have them once a year, or is it just that you associate them with Christmas now? Oh, Fearless Bear says hashtag Friday cookies. We could make that a thing.
You get
Weekend
like a little
biscuits or
medjool
something.
date. They're
Yes.
perfect.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a date tree, by the way?
A what?
A date tree.
A date tree? No, I don't think I have.
They're like little pine. I was about to say pine trees. No, they're not like pine trees at all. They're like little palm trees. Here you go.
All
Right,
right.
here's a picture. See what I mean? They've got that
Oh,
palm tree shape going on.
yeah, they've definitely got that vibe going on. That's weird.
I would love to be able to grow these things. I don't think it gets anywhere near hot or dry enough in this country. But it would be lovely to do it. I love it.
I won't lie, I'm such a noob when it comes to gardening. I thought you said baked tree, and I'm like, is that a thing? No, that can't be. I'm not even
What's
joking.
wrong?
I don't know. You often mention things I've never heard of. So Francis says the 80s one. Good on you. That was a really good film. Yes, thank you, Tash. Everyone drop a like, please. We noticed
So
watching the stream that Jonathan and Andrew hosted, the This Is Why We Dig, that there was a weird thing going on with the likes.
yeah, they almost halved during
Yeah.
the course of the stream.
So,
I
yes.
don't remember what it got up to at one stage, but it got up quite high, and then we carried on watching, and it just further and further down. That's not a natural thing. That's not how likes on YouTube typically works.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that many people like the stream, change their mind, remove their likes. But it's happening on a regular basis. So if you haven't already, this is YouTube, of course, that's doing this. It doesn't seem to be happening elsewhere. But if you are watching
Oddly, it's the
YouTube,
first time I've ever heard of them remove stream. Typically, it's just dislikes, and typically it's just from videos that include Biden.
is it? Yeah, but I think they're talking about hiding them now, aren't they? The dislikes, rather than having
Oh
to
yes,
remove them all.
it's just so much more convenient.
Yeah. Stollen English Bird says, do you only have Stollen at Christmas or Easter, or can you clarify? Daffyd says spam only ever used in camping weather. Do you agree with that?
I've never had spam, so I can't agree nor disagree.
I vaguely remember spam fritters when I was a child, but I don't
Is
really
that
eat
just
spam.
for spam?
I think it's spam in batter. Yeah.
I'm just googling spam fritter. Oh yes, yes it is indeed. Oh, they look salty.
And these were school dinners. This wasn't even like bad parenting. This was the state providing you with spam fritters.
Oh wow, that's I
They don't look very appetizing, do
don't
they?
like.
Oh God, you can get them in a tin. I thought they just sliced up spam and coated it in batter and deep fried it. Oh no. I hate that so much.
I genuinely do not. Who on earth has gone to the hassle of putting beer batter over spam?
Oh, and Dijon mustard. I don't remember Dijon mustard or cheese. I think it was literally just spam in batter. And obviously not beer batter because we were school children, although who knows. Andrew, being weird, says he likes Brussels sprouts throughout the year. Yum. Roy
I don't
Bob,
mind Brussels sprouts.
come on, guys. Sprouts are not awesome. They're little snot balls. Hot cross buns, Rory. Presumably Easter and Easter alone.
Right, the
Uh,
rest of the year you can just.
I eat them more
I'm
than
sorry, I've
just at
been
Easter.
absolutely mind flooded. I went Google something else and I've just something.
English Bird says sprouts have tons of goodness. Ugh. Go on, sorry.
Shredded spam. Anybody?
Oh,
Got that? How lovely.
well, they're trying to rip off pulled pork or something. I don't like that. Like
Now
grated
you
spam.
understand why I started so badly when I saw who puts it in the socket. Oh god.
Oh no. It's reconstituted pork, isn't it? Basically pork luncheon meat. Spam.
Yes.
What are they call pork luncheon meat? Like you can only eat it for lunch.
It doesn't look appetizing, Joe.
No.
It looks like lettuce. You like lettuce?
It looks like cabbage.
It looks kind of like cabbages.
I will say I've got behind the whole sprouts with bacon. Apparently you cut the little root off, cut them in half, and you fry them with bacon or pancetta.
Yeah, that's
actually. But I've still not tried it because I can't get past the whole snotball thing. So, but it smells better because obviously I can smell the pancetta and not the Brussels. It's like boiling snot. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. I just don't like it. Even though sprouts have tons of goodness, English Bird, that doesn't mean that they're tasty, to be fair.
You have emotional issues.
I do when it comes to Brussels sprouts. Zant says, butter in your Brussels, lovely. I don't know. Cockney Nutjob says, I've waited under a tree for a date. Turkey is higher protein than chicken, which is interesting because most of us eat way more chicken than turkey, I imagine.
To be fair as well, chicken has lost all of its nutrient value over the last 50 years.
I suppose if you...
Chicken nowadays is basically like leather.
If you eat skinless chicken breast, it's probably good for you diet-wise, I suppose, in that there's no added... Well, I don't know. If anyone's on a low-fat diet, that's nuts now, as we know, but... Daffyd says, don't want to get on the food stuff. I'm sorry, Daffyd, this must be like a busman's holiday every time you get on one of our live streams. I'm so sorry. But bread and butter pudding with hot cross buns at this time of year. Oh, nice. Roy Bob says, butter and pepper, how you can make bubble and squeak without sprouts. Adam says, rabbit is higher in protein than turkey. I don't do rabbit, as we've discussed before, but Rabbit's you do, don't you?
It's so good.
Okay, what's that?
I don't. It was just something cool that I saw. It is welder steel sculpture.
Johnny Not Powell's got so much competition now. Roy Kinson says, I dated a tree once, it palmed me off onto a bush.
There you go.
I can't put that up, Johnny, not pal. Pepe biscuits. Ooh, there's an idea. We should have everyone bake some Pepe biscuits, I think, or pancakes or something, and have a competition. See whose is the most crazy. Thank you, Lady Saxon. Much appreciated. Yes, spam fritters. I remember them being great as a kid, but obviously I had no nutritional education.
You had no taste buds as a kid. How old were you when they
Well,
developed?
apparently not. Phyllis Bear says spam is cat food. I'm more inclined to agree with you now. Cat food. Well, this is why I can't do jelly deals. Because that jelly just looks like the jelly you get in cat food, tins of cat food.
Jelly deal just white.
Adam says eat more haggis. Have you ever had haggis?
I haven't. I would like to try haggis.
I don't know. Oh, that was the tiniest picture ever.
I know, that's why I got rid of it.
Oh, that's good. Spam fritters are bloody lovely, says Roy Bob. Do you know, I haven't had one as an adult, so I can neither agree nor disagree, but I'll take your word for it. Adam says...
You cannot judge.
Corned beef fritters. I've never had those either.
Do you like corned beef?
No.
What's wrong with corned beef, Joe?
I don't even really know what it is because I've never had it. It just looks rank.
It's beef. It's just minced beef and fat.
It looks like, I don't know, dog food.
As Roy said, we've covered this.
Philomena, betrayed. I can't believe it. Yeah, thank you, Fearless Bear. Back at you, Philomena. Stephen O. Payback. Stephen O says sprouts are not just for Christmas. Well, they're not for life. Unless, you want to be punished forever. Oh, Roy, not you as well. Hasdak, what are you doing?
Look, see, people like sprouts. You're the minority. Get out.
Timmy says spam is camping fine dining. How dare you, lol. How dare we? How dare we? I think you're just being cheeky now. I love that picture so much. I'm probably going to use that at least once every live stream. Oh, there we go.
It was waiting for me when I joined.
Right.
Did you ever
back to the
have dripping sounds?
No, I never have. Actually.
The grandparents?
Possibly, probably. They were working class.
I would say probably as well. My granddad used to have them.
But I don't know. It must be quite rank. It must be like having a butter sandwich, but without the flavour.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm quite happy to use like lard and fat, in cooking. But to actually sort of eat it cold in a sandwich, I don't know that I could.
Yeah, a dripping sandwich doesn't do it for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I can't. Adam says spaghetti. I've heard of this. Yeah, it's basically spam with like pasta probably in tomato sauce. It doesn't look good at all.
There you go.
Mucky fat butties and a sense of place. Well, there's a headline and a half.
Let's ignore the headline because it's from the just middle class bellends.
Mucky fat butty. What do they call them? Mucky. How dare you?
Who knows?
Don't make me pull out Greta again. Right, what have we got?
Oh, look, proper labelling going on here.
Britannia
just
dripping.
Plain. Something very, very pleasant about the old style packaging where stuff is just boring.
I love it.
It says exactly what it needs to be and that's it.
So why do some of them call them lard and others call them dripping?
Lard is not dripping. Lard is pork.
Dripping is always beef.
1 minute. What's going on in your head now?
Pork dripping. What?
That looks pretty good.
What do you mean it looks good? It's a tub. You can't even see the product.
No! The other picture.
Or the English muffin breakfast sandwich.
Just
That's not a
muffins in
sandwich.
general. That's not.
That's a feast.
This is Ponzi photographer stuff.
Right, I'm so disappointed in you all. Bit of time and dill in the batter, says Roy Bob. So Francis says, sprouts with bacon are gorgeous. Space Hopper Mark says, I love a spam fritter. I just feel dirty after eating them. I don't even want to know what that's about. English Will, yay! In my family, we call sprouts little balls of poison. Johnny Not Powell. I was force-fed sprouts as a child. Swallowed them whole, though. Never liked them before or since. It's like
How
swallowing
on earth do you
snot.
swallow them whole?
Well, they must have been cut up into smaller pieces.
But I'm sorry to interrupt the spam of spam.
Go on.
Who the hell has a garage this empty?
Well, you'd think there'd at least be a car in it. If you've got the space for all that, you definitely own a car.
There's so
every
much
possible,
stuff.
every tool and thing you could possibly need is all in that one space. All the gardening tools are there. Bikes are there. There's a snow shoveling thing. Skis are there.
There's a
rucksack.
bag.
A what?
There's a ball bag, Joe.
What? Oh, you like for bowling?
Yeah, next to the bikes. Look, there's a bag of balls.
Oh, a bag of balls. Okay. Oh, tennis balls above it.
Whose house is this?
Tennis
this
rackets,
is someone
golf
with
clubs.
some serious OCD.
Is that a hacksaw? What the heck is going on in this house?
I don't trust anybody whose tools are this well organised. What's happening with those spanners looks obnoxious.
Why would you have that?
Because you're going to have to
spanners?
take all of them. What do you mean? First off, that many. Secondly, you're going to have to take them all off to get to the one at the back. That is annoying.
Are those drills on a magnetic pole or something? Oh, I don't trust that.
No. They're on. No. They're on little.
Oh, they're on hooks.
If you look at the C clamps, like little springs. I'm not sure what to call.
To be fair,
there you go.
I can barely see the detail that you're referring to.
Surprised it's because this geezer's got a bloody garage bigger than my house and he crammed everything over in the goddamn corner.
Look, all those empty storage crates.
He's standing 3 miles off.
Go right to this corner. How do you get the storage crates that are covered by the other storage crates? You've got to move the whole shelf along to get to them.
Oh, these.
Right in the corner,
yeah. Oh, that's bad. This
I don't like it.
person has no interest. This is lived in space.
Yeah, this is a publicity photo. Nobody lives like that.
I don't any of this.
Nobody lives like that. It's ridiculous.
Oh, Joe, there is. There's more.
No.
Yeah, there's more. The same company. One minute, I've got another picture for you. The same deal.
Maybe they only had a limited amount of tools to play with. So what have you got there? Snowboard, skis, all the sports stuff, all the gardening stuff, a wheelbarrow, and some chairs.
Infinity chairs, to be fair. Different types of chairs as well. I don't approve. There's not as many
just
boxes.
Looks empty.
I don't like any of this.
Right. I'm going to catch up with the chat while you find another picture. Spam makes good fish bait, says Cockney Nutjob. I've heard that. I know fishermen have used spam. So, spam and beans, cowboy breakfast, says Daffyd. Spam and egg sandwich.
Spam.
Raw sprouts, raw, Adam, are a superfood. Raw.
I feel that you can tell anybody something is a superfood and they believe you.
Hasdak says, my missus makes a great chicken and bacon pie. Yum. Now that sounds perfectly lovely. Yes, the pancetta. I will try it one Christmas, if only to just throw it in the bin and say I've tried it. Thank you, Tash, for the tip. So try blanching them for a few minutes and stir fry them with the bacon. Do you cut them in half, Tash? after you cut the hard root part off. When my nan used to make them when I was little, she used to cut the root part off and then slice them at the root end, but not all the way through. Corned beef and English mustard sandwiches, says English Bird. Oh, I'll give you English mustard.
I think
I
you
do
didn't
like
like
beef and
English
mustard.
mustard.
I do in a sandwich, but not in a hot dog.
Fair enough. I agree with. Sorry,
Go on.
getting on to an immediate comment. I agree with Albert. Why on earth would you put a wheelbarrow on the wall? Just weird.
Because it's for show. This is not a real person using this stuff. Roy Bob says corned beef and horseradish. I don't like horseradish sauce. I won't lie. What are your feelings on horseradish, Jordan? I bet you love it, don't you?
I've actually never had it. The only thing I know about it is that when you grate it, it makes you cry.
I'm not surprised. English Bird has brought up something Jordan loves and I hate.
It's very nice. I don't know your hatred.
It's blood. I don't
It's not blood, it's meat and stuff, kinda.
It's blood.
It's meat and stuff. Look, blood is merely the formation of meat. You're eating proto-meat.
Oh, hilarious. Hilarious. Roy Bob says beef dripping on toast. I imagine that's essentially fried bread, isn't it? Which I have had and I do like. So, but I don't know how much. When you say beef dripping on toast, do you mean like a slab, like you do cheese on toast? Because that might be a bit too much. Andrew, I'm so disappointed in you. You like all the things that are nasty.
No, I don't have any issue with haggis. There's everything in haggis there for you. There's some liver on, there's some heart going on, there's some oats. It's just good stuff.
Well, no, there's oats in it, so it must be okay. Nutrition,
superfood,
says Timmy. Pie and mash, Joe. I'm not claiming pie and mash is nutritious. It was basically cheap food for poor people to fill up. And that's why I don't have it very often. Well, I have it more often than I should, let's say. Rory says I have haggis on Burns night. That's fairly appropriate, I would say.
You must be about 40 minutes behind on chat.
I'm catching up. I'm nearly 10 minutes behind. Hard to get good dripping these days, but I used to love it, says Roy Bob. I'm catching up. What
makes good dripping?
I've no idea.
I would have just imagined that dripping is dripping is dripping.
Well, no, as we've proven, it's like you can't have pork dripping. It's just not a thing. Maybe it's the process. I don't know. Philomena's threatening to take the chocolate and bacon with her if we deport her. So all is forgiven, Philomena. Pilchards, says Adam. When I was younger, I used to have pilchards on crackers. They were quite nice. Oh my God, there's a Greta D-Live sticker. Nobody's hanging about on D-Live. Spam was a wartime delicacy. Yes, I remember reading about that. Actually.
Did you have your pilchards in tomato sauce or just by themselves?
No, it's like in whatever oil they came in.
Right, so just in brine?
No, it was oil. Definitely oil.
It's oil?
I'm
just a can.
I'm thinking it might have been, I can't remember. Definitely oil, sure of it. Cornbread hash. It's part of a staple diet here.
That was a big picture.
Oh, look at that. Look at the old style tin. They still use those. When my nan and granddad used to have them, they used to show me pictures of stuff. My granddad was a little bit into photography, so we had pictures of stuff he wouldn't otherwise have had. And there were the old tins he used to get. It was like a key. And he used to hook it over a bit of metal and then like wind the key.
Yeah, that's how the corned beef tins still work.
Oh, they still have that?
Yeah, they're awesome. I love that.
See if you can pull up a picture for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, one moment. I love that little key. I don't know why. It's just satisfying. Not putting up with this lean corned beef nonsense, okay? That can go, put it where the sun doesn't shine.
Spam, egg and chips. My favourite yummy, says Jonathan. And Roy Bob says, yeah, I can't afford the slab of beef. Oh, fair enough. It's quite a lot of money, I suppose. Look at it, though. Just, come on.
Look at what?
Look at the state of it.
What do you mean? Of course, because that's just empty bloody looks at a tin of it and think, oh, it looks like. There you go. That's how it works.
Yeah, there
He's
you
lost
go.
them.
Such a good idea. I mean, things could go horribly wrong if you ever wound the key and it unravelled. I've seen pictures of those online.
I've never seen it unravel. I've never had it unravel.
Yeah, search for a key fail, a key tin fail. It unravels and it spirals, and then you can't kind of wind it back. It's quite interesting.
Why did we ever move away from this?
Health and safety. I don't know. Someone had a good reason.
You probably find it's just money saving. I say it every week. I want to get back to this sort of thing.
Right, I feel there's
just
a Johnny
old
Not
school
Powell
packaging.
joke. There's a Johnny Not Powell joke, but I can only see part one. Ah, here we go. It's been proven that Greta Thunberg is making a real difference to climate change. Every time she comes on the TV, approximately 10 million switch off. There you go. I found the other half. Well done.
Talking about, Greta Thunberg and all of her nonsense. Actually, we get through the chat and then we come back to that.
Brown sauce sandwich. Oh, I don't know if I love brown sauce, daddy sauce specifically, but I don't know if I could just have that in a sandwich. Yeah, Hashtag. I think most of us have come from a place where life was a bit of a struggle. So I totally get where you're coming from. Dark brown jelly is dripping, says Roybot. Ooh. Frozen sausages, Hashtag. Yeah, been there, done that. Chips fried in lard, old school. That should come back. I do believe that's what some fish and chip shops still fry their chips in lard.
There is a fish and chip shop up at Hunstanton that still do it.
Nice. I bet the chips
It is
taste
very,
so much
very
better
nice.
for it.
Absolutely. Lard is how you do chips. I'm fully converted.
Jonathan says, I like to start the day with a muffin. And Timmy says, I only cook chips in lard or dripping. Well done. Kale is toxic, says Michael Pagan. I keep hearing about the benefits of kale, but I've tried it and it's honestly disgusting.
I like kale. You just have weird tastes.
Right, I'm just catching up now. Zant says, large clean garages, strange. Exactly. Nobody's used that garage. It's definitely a publicity photo. That's the garage of a serial killer, says Roy. I wish I'd caught up at the time.
I told you. Right, no more look at stuff. The OK source was simply to answer Cockney Nutjob's question, can you still get it? Apparently, yes, you can, mate. Carry on, Joe. Speed up.
Okay.
We've got stuff to look at.
Those tools are too clean. Yes. Never used. Yes. Everyone's saying, who lives in a house like this? Is that Lloyd Grossman? Everyone's taking the mick out of. Oh, Roy Bob. Spicy. Body parts, no doubt, in the boxes above. I'm not sure we'd go that far. Johnny Not Powell, look, no welder. See real people who do real work. Understand that there are certain things that there must be in place. That was missing a lot.
If I had a garage that big, there would 100% be a welder. There would be some sort of drill press. There'd be everything going on.
Lil Bullet has a comment for us. Do you drain the fat from minced beef if you make spaghetti bolognese? If not, then you're already eating beef dripping. I do drain mine, but I save it and I cook with it. I cook other things with the fat that I've saved. Just out of interest. Do you do that, Jordan? Do you drain the fat?
I don't drain it out. I leave it in.
Oh, I drain some. If there's loads, I drain it out. Right, I've caught up with Albert's comment now. Getting there. How am I still 10 minutes behind? Right, let's go through. Right, Tash says regarding Brussels sprouts, I don't just the root and outer leaves off. Right, okay, thank you for that. I'll give that a try. White pudding is without blood. Is that what it's called, English bird?
Indeed it is. White pudding is just fat and flour and leeks. And
Oh,
I'm not sure if there's oats.
I love this.
It's very basic. Anybody who wants to know how white pudding is made, Scott Ree has a video on it. It's very interesting.
Nice. Jonathan says real cheddar cheese from cheddar and piccalilli on fresh bread. Everything but the piccalilli sounds amazing. Cheese on toast for lunch. Now we're talking. Well done. Space Hopper Mark, oh, you've dropped the mark. Space Hopper says, I was blown away by how tasty haggis was. Sorry. Michael Pagan says, meat, poultry, eggs, offal, fish, and good animal fat are superfoods. Roy Bob says, rib of beef, bones. Suet fat is the best dripping, says Daffyd. Sardines and herring, silver darlings. Kippers for breakfast. I haven't had kippers in the longest time, Rory.
Kippers are lovely. Kipper fish cakes. Oh, they're so good.
I've not had those, but I do like kippers. But I'm
Kippers
sort
are
of old.
great.
I'm old school working class, so when we had kippers, it was basically covered in vinegar and eaten with bread and butter. Don't know how everyone else eats their kippers. Pilchards are just crunchy bones, says Roy Bob. Pilchards for lunch. It's amazing how these things come up, isn't it? Just made corned beef hash. Sardines are young pilchards. It may have been sardines I had, to be fair, but either way, it came in a tin and it was oil.
I love sardines. The issue I have with them is the bloody bones. It's the same as herring.
Yeah.
I think herring is one of those fish. The bones kill me. I just can't take it.
Mashed potato
sandwich.
I'm not sure. It would depend what you added to the mash. It couldn't just be plain mash, surely.
Just add some butter.
Yeah, but even so, that's still fairly plain mash. There's no flavour to it. This is the OK Sauce comment. Thank you for bringing that up, Jordan.
That was so long ago, I forgot.
Anglo-Saxon says, Daddy's brown sauce, poor man's HP. And like I said, we were a poor family. Don't eat seed oils. Good advice. Will says, Greta eats alfalfa and sawdust. Of course, she's so bitter. Wow.
She can't. Well, how can she eat sawdust if that involves cutting down a tree? I thought it was known fact that Greta only eats sand.
Oh, God. I can imagine that too. Michael says, look up what kale does to lambs. Do you want to have a quick look? I have no idea about
indeed.
this.
Neither do I.
While you're doing that, Rob D, Daddy sauce, yeah, it's basically HP sauce, but it's just got a different branding on it. It's slightly different flavour as well. Hi, Aramis. We're just talking about food, just weird food that we have occasionally, or just foods that we haven't talked about or heard of for a while. Gross Lloydman.
You probably asked that 20 odd minutes ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm catching up. Right, I'm getting there. Oh, sorry, Jonathan. Jonathan's off to order a Chinese because we always end up talking about food. It just is our Saturday thing, I think, now. Michael says, educate yourselves about the myth of saturated fat being bad for you. Diet heart hypotheses. Well, we know that we used to eat natural fats, didn't we? And it was absolutely fine. Just no kippers with eggs, fish and eggs, really. Yeah, all this low fat nonsense came in, and then suddenly all the fat was removed and it was replaced with sugar, which is the real killer.
Mm-hmm.
And the real cause of heart disease and obesity and all the other problems that come with it. So, and you can see this as well when you buy things like a low-fat yogurt or something. It will say something like no added sugar, but that's added sugar to the end product. That's not sugar they've added to the process because they've removed all the fat. They have to replace the fat with something, and they use sugar. Andrew says ham, cheese, and gherkin baguette, yum. The eggs are crying out for bacon. Now, Philomena, have to 100% agree with you on this. Eggs and bacon, just it's a love story. They go together. Pizza sandwich. Oh, we've been looking at some weird food over the last few days. We have seen everything. In fact, I saw a pizza sandwich today. Johnny Not Powell says, 2 sardines swim at the bottom of the sea. A submarine goes by. Heavens, what's that? A can of people. Fish finger sandwiches. We were talking about these just a few days ago, weren't we?
Fish finger sandwiches for lunch are 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Great.
Amazing.
The weird egg thing that Philomena, English Will, and Cockney Nutjob just posted, that is the stuff of nightmares. That's all.
Ooh, Little Bullet suggesting 2 massive tablespoons of Cajun seasoning and mince when making spaghetti bolognese. Jordan has a little bit of Italian in him. I'm not sure he'll agree with that. What do you think?
I don't approve.
It might be something that you really enjoy, but I'm firmly of the belief that if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I'm firmly of the belief of if you enjoy it, have at it.
Yes, absolutely. Did you? Did you? What are you getting?
This is my
Did you find out about kale and lambs?
I couldn't find anything, but I do have something else for when you catch up. I want to talk about this. This is interesting.
Okay, well, Michael, maybe you can provide a bit of information, please, if you'd be so kind. Deep fried pizza. Oh, come on.
Oh, no.
That can't be real. Yes, with salad cream, Roy Bob. Now we're talking.
No.
Yes, it has to be with salad cream.
No.
The
salad cream is... I don't even know what it is. I just don't trust it. Why is it that colour? Why is it in a bottle? It's weird.
What do you think of this comment from Rob? Not so long ago, full breakfast, full lunch, tea and full dinner. No obesity. We know the reason for this. Absolutely.
Yeah. But they used to have proper sized dinners and proper sized breakfasts.
Yeah.
There's no messing around with their portions.
Michael Pagan says animal protein is essential for replenishing bone density. Yeah, animal protein. I mean, people are trying to encourage us now to eat bugs and whatever is grown in a lab. Peanut butter and jam on toast. So this is PB and J, isn't it? I've never quite got the attraction of it. I don't like peanut butter anyway. I've had jam sandwiches.
Talking peanut butter, today while I was watching rugby, I saw an advert for Skippy's peanut butter.
Skippy's?
I've never seen Skippy's peanut butter. I've never seen an advert for Skippy's peanut butter ever. Have you never had it?
I don't like peanut butter, so I've never heard of Skippy's.
Okay, well, Skippy's peanut butter is great. Buy it. It's very tasty. Very peanutty.
What about this one? Lemon curd sandwiches. I used
never
to have those as a child. They were amazing.
I've never had that, but I love lemon curd.
Lemon curd is great.
It is.
Michael went on to add regarding the kale, it's called red gut, this lamb issue. Do you want to see if you can find red gut and see if there's any information on that?
I can, 1 minute. And then I'm getting on to my talking point.
Okay. Oh, Timmy's probably going to divide the chat now. 1 in the chat for ketchup and 2 for salad cream. It depends on the meal, to be perfectly honest. It really does depend. Like, I wouldn't have salad cream on a burger, for instance, but I wouldn't have ketchup on fish fingers. Anglo-Saxon thinks salad cream is disgusting. Oh, well, there you go. Jordan's side.
Any reasonable person would take my side.
Right, let's have a look. We are somewhat divided. So what was the question? So 1 for ketchup, 2 for salad cream. And Timmy says ketchup. Hasdak is agreeing. So is Barndor. Philomena's choosing salad cream. Tash is choosing ketchup. So is Aramis. Sunpat peanut butter I've heard of. Yes. But not the Skippy thing that you mentioned.
I've heard of some. I've never had their peanut butter. Could you just pop that on screen, please?
This is a great comment. We have a perfectly good processing method to make bug protein fit for humans. They're called chickens. Very good.
Well said.
Indeed. I never pronounce your name, by the way, because I'm not sure how. Okay.
Brassica poisoning. Brassicas, including turnips, broccoli, cabbage, kale, rapeseed, and many more, can be part of a well-balanced diet. However, when animals are fed a brassica-rich diet, they can fail to thrive. Brassicas contain several toxic substances which cause a decreased appetite, hence a failure to grow well. And this is specifically, they're looking at sudden death in lambs. Mole Care Veterinary Service.
Wow.
So there you go.
So it can poison them and cause death, as well as stunting their growth, essentially.
Indeed.
Well, this would be where they have access to excesses of kale, wouldn't it? Or if it's in their feed.
Yes.
So
I'd imagine they'd have quite a lot.
See, we never had these problems before. Modernity, it comes with its own problems. We're so busy trying to do everything well that we forget about the dangers of moving away from natural. I agree, Daffyd. After the horse meat found in most supermarket food, why anyone would trust processed food is beyond me. You're absolutely trusting what's on the label.
It's remarkable how quickly you've forgotten about that.
Oh, I don't do curry, Lil Bullet. Bread and butter curry sandwiches. Do you do curry, Jordan?
I do, but I've never had that. That sounds very strange.
Johnny Not Powell says, I made a chicken salad this morning. The stupid, ungrateful thing won't even eat it. I haven't tried Vegemite, Hashtag. I believe it's the vegetable alternative to Marmite. Is that correct?
It's Maximum Australia. I don't trust it at all.
Vegemite, mate. English Bird says, egg mayo. I don't do hard-boiled eggs ever in anything ever. Will says salad cream, never. Philomena doesn't care that ketchup won. I'm with you, Philomena. I have ketchup on exactly 2 things. So, yeah. Timmy looking for a fight. Well, we'll see. Adam says mayonnaise, not salad cream. It's interesting, the difference between mayonnaise and salad cream with regard to which foods you have it on. Because I can have a salad with mayo. I just prefer it with salad cream. But if I was to have a chicken mayo sandwich with lettuce, I don't think I could have it with salad cream instead of mayo. Rob D says ketchup for salad, salad cream for chips. I'm not sure about that. Right, okay, let's drop the chat for a moment because I'm almost caught up. What are we looking at? So this is Vegemite.
There was one comment. There was one comment about Hashtag who's Mrs. cooks everything from scratch.
Oh, nice.
Good. That's how things should be. That is Vegemite.
Sorry,
I don't
sorry,
know
Aramis.
what it is.
Welcome to our lives. This is every day. Sorry, catching up.
Anyway,
right, trying to find it.
I actually had something to bring up, which I'm going to do right now.
Okay, I'm caught up.
Good. I'm very glad. The other day, I came across this thing, and I tried to tell Jo about how exciting this was, and she just didn't get it.
To be fair, I got it once I saw it.
Yeah, but you still didn't. You didn't get it. You weren't as excited as I was. I saw this, and I thought this was a miraculous breakthrough of technology, the likes of which mankind never seen before. You were like, "That's pretty cool," and that was it. To be fair, I would have been happy with that's pretty cool as a response I got from you. But anyway.
Well, look. First of all, you're a man. This is your domain. I'm a woman. I spend time either at the dressing table or in the kitchen. That's my domain. I don't spend time in a workshop.
Fine. I'll accept that. Anyway,
thank you.
I would like to know if anybody else has ever seen these things, and if you ever used one. And furthermore, why on earth have I not come across this before? Here is I will get the title of it.
We're looking at the condition of the machinery as well. It's very old. So where's the modern version?
I can't find one. This is a Herbert Pollard bank of 4-pillar drills.
Do you want to
I'm
explain
proud
to
of this.
everyone what they do, the way you explained it to me?
Okay, basically, the way this works is a pillar drill is just a drill that goes up and down in a dead straight line. That's all it does. It's perfect for drilling vertical holes. That's its entire existence. The reason this is so interesting to me is because you could have on the left a very, very small drill bit just to get the hole started. Then you could have a slightly bigger one. Then you could have a little chamfer on it, a space for a screw head so you can get it flounded. And then the one you could have a tap. I've never come across this before. Ever. And I've watched a lot of machining stuff, videos and those varieties. Boy said he had one at school. That'll work. That's interesting.
Well, this is
Rob
what I'm
Deasy Archer
saying.
needs rewinding every few months.
But these look, obviously, they don't look modern, and I'm just wondering why there isn't a modern version. I mean, maybe there is an all-in-one machine, but this looks amazing. This is what we need to see in people's workshops. This is a wonderful piece of machinery. And I'm all for things that appear to be old-fashioned because I just think that the older stuff is better. The
I
old
agree.
mechanical stuff.
I've just genuinely never seen anything like this before. Common sense. I would love to know if there are. Obviously, there are modern companies out there making these things. That's fine. I would just like to find more of them. Because seemingly there's not very many up for sale either. I've only seen 3, I think. No, you could rig this together yourself. You could just put them in the line, job done. But the idea of it all being in one is quite interesting, quite appealing.
It is. It's a bit of a conveyor belt kind of chain system, isn't it? You do one,
Exactly, it's
then you move it to the
convenient.
right, you do the next, you do the next, you do the next, the job's finished.
Exactly. If like a small machine shop, this would be absolutely brilliant. Because then rather than having to change the drill bit out, you just leave it.
Yeah.
You set it up, you go from one to the other to the other to the other. Done. Your
Well,
hole is now drilled. You don't have to worry about it.
and it's a one-man conveyor belt, so you don't need numerous members of staff, all with their health and safety certificates and training and certification to say that they are qualified to operate a drill, which your average person has in their own home, by the way. So that is amazing. I would like to see much more of that. I love the old style mechanical version. I can see that this is actually plugged in, or that potentially there's a plug for it. But still,
These are all electric.
when it comes to breakdowns, though, there's mechanical fixings for it, so you can actually fix this. You can actually adjust this to suit.
The interesting thing about machinery, especially old machinery, is it is very easy to fix.
Well, it's the same with old cars. We've had this discussion before. The more electronic cars become, the more likely you are going to need to go to a garage to get even the most minor things fixed. You can't take them apart.
Said, buy a lathe if you're the most useful tool. I agree. I want all of this stuff.
Jordan's been talking about a lathe for at least 6 months. That's definitely first on his list. If he had a Christmas wish list or something, that would be number 1 on it, guaranteed.
But it's like welding machine, lathe, milling machine. I want it all. This is what I want to get into desperately.
Quick shout out to Jonathan. His kale seeds are coming out. Very nice. Good. Can we just also say a quick belated thank you to Andrew and Jonathan for hosting This Is Why We Dig. What a great job you guys are doing. Thank you very much.
Indeed. I enjoy it. I do.
Oh, Cockney Nutjob has told us where Marmite comes from. It's the scraping of smoky pub ceilings, is it not? I really hope not. Yes, and there was a comment I skipped over actually because I'm trying to catch up. But yes, we do like fruit as well. We just very rarely talk about it for some reason. Yes, I know my place. Thank you, Stephen. Johnny Not Powell says proper tools. Daffyd says looks familiar. Hasdak says that looks like it's for drilling, unlike that stupid empty garage thing that you showed us, which was all for show, and clearly no one's ever actually done any work with it.
That was all show, no go.
Great for production, says Xanth. English Bird says, but didn't you have a single drill? One of those in tech in school? Yeah, we had single drills in school and things like that. But still, these...
It's the bank of four aspect
Yeah.
that interests me so much. And there's really, I think there's very little reason for it, because basically you can just get 4 drill presses and it does the same job.
You've
But
got to
it's
remember,
just
though,
interesting. I've never seen a tool like this before.
we always come at these things from the perspective of like a one-man band, small business, sole proprietor type thing, because this is what we want for people, to take freedom and have choices again. We're not talking about, big companies with mass production and numerous employees. We're talking about how could these things be made to work for one person who has gone into business for themselves. And that's why these fascinate us so much, because they're obviously a reminder of a bygone age, an age where we did have the freedom to just start a business.
Talking of this, I was looking into this today. I was looking into the laws around making trailers and then making bull bars. Apparently, to make a trailer, anyone can go and make a trailer. That's perfectly fine. The government haven't set their sights on that currently. All you need to do to make a trailer is put the lights on and number plate and all that stuff. Reasonable things, basically.
Yeah.
Bull bars, on the other hand, no. You have to be approved. You have to be making them in approved ways. It's ridiculous. Here is something that is specifically designed to save the work of a car in case you're off-roading and you hit something. That you have to have a special little, I don't know, it's not even a degree or a or anything. You just have to manufacture it in a way that they've pre-decided. Why? It doesn't actually affect the safety of the vehicle at all, because the rest of the car works. It's there just to protect the bodywork.
Yeah. It's the meme is coming to life, isn't it? Or you got a license for that, mate. I mean, it's becoming quite ridiculous now.
Adamant says pedestrian injury. That is something.
It does increase
That is a
pedestrian
part
industry.
of it. But 1 minute, no, the pedestrian injury is a part of it. That is why they're so bloody weird on it. It just doesn't make any sense. Why it has to be done in the way that they want it done. It was very opaque. It was very difficult to find actually wanted.
Little Bullet says, look up Wigan kebab on Google Images. Is it rude? I never know. If it's not rude, then no. Do you want to have a look in the background? Roy Bob says, buy a metal lathe if you want the world's most useful tool. CNC. Built to last 2, says Xanth. I really wish I knew how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. I own 3 different types of drill. None of them are electric. No.
Bodra. There you go. That's what we're going with. Bodra. NVQ,
okay.
Not very qualified.
That's a Wigan kebab. Is that, what is that? A cheese pie in a bun?
I think that is. There are other versions of it where it's just a normal pie inside like a bun. Like steak and kidney pie is what this lad's got. This is very strange.
I don't like that at all. I don't like it. Oh, Jonathan's just found a new seed company called King Seeds, and there is the link if anyone wants it. Jordan, can you copy that, please? Make a note
which
of it.
time was it? Was it like 30 minutes ago?
No, it was 30,
I just sent it.
35. 35 past.
Is it seed or seeds?
It's www.kingsseeds.com, but all one word.
There you go.
Thank you. We'll post that up in the Discord as well. Thank you for that, Jonathan.
There was a comment. 1 minute. Carry on reading. Right, Rob D has made a comment that I must pull up later on when you get there.
I'm catching up now. I have to bring this up real quick while I'm looking. You need an MVQ now to work in a warehouse. Just saying, it's just nonsense. It's a scam to make people money and get funding. Right? Is this the one, Jordan?
Read it out to me. I'm just thinking something else.
Okay, so Rob says when tools were designed to do it yourself, now you can't access/take out a car battery when a car is in warranty without invalidating the warranty. More subservience to the corporations.
This is something that annoys me greatly. And this is something I believe they've dealt with quite nicely in the US. And I wish, even if they haven't, I wish other nations would take this approach. If you've bought something, you own it. How on earth can taking it apart invalidate the warranty? You have the right to pay your own stuff. You own it. It's yours. It's not the companies who you've bought it from. If it is theirs, they should pay for the maintenance of it in general, not just when it breaks. It's your bloody thing. They've got a warranty on it. It hasn't worked. You've tried to fix it yourself. Send it back to them. They can fix it.
Okay, I don't want to be forced to defend corporations, but I'm going to play devil's
I know what you're going to
advocate
say. You're going to say, what happens if you take it apart and you break it yourself?
or if you do something to it whereby it can't be fixed. If it's under warranty, it means that they are responsible for fixing it. So why would you fix it?
Because you own it. Because you own it and you have the right to do it.
Well, that's fine. Then if you own it, then you should be responsible for fixing it and the warranty shouldn't matter.
I'm content if they were to get rid of Wardens in exchange for don't open it. But the idea that if you own it, you aren't allowed to open it up. And if you do, that invalidates the warranty. That I don't agree with.
Yeah, I'm just saying, from a practical point of view, though, it's like if you make something and you offer the some kind of insurance or built-in warranty that you will fix it if anything goes wrong. When you sell it to your customer and your customer opens it up and they do something that makes it irreparable, then when they send it back to you, you can't fix it because they've done something that cannot be undone. You now have to replace the whole unit instead of... But you'd then have to replace the whole unit because they have prevented you from fixing the unit by trying to fix the unit themselves. So what I'm saying is I don't disagree with you, but I'm just saying if you own something, then you should fix it. And if it belongs to the company and they offer a warranty, then they should fix it.
There's hardly anything that you can take apart and break to the extent where you can't fix it.
Okay, Johnny Not Powell says that's not strictly true. You don't have to use a dealer for servicing or warranty work covered in the Consumer Rights Act. Okay, but still, I do agree with the point you're making. I'm just saying, I'm going to play devil's advocate and say the warranty is provided that you can then use to repair something you've bought. It's not saying you can't fix it. It's saying if you do, then they are no longer responsible for fixing it if you make it worse, which I actually think is perfectly fair.
But then you have the little tabs on the thing, like if this seal is broken, warranty voided.
That I do not agree with, because sometimes you have to use something to find out that there's a problem with it.
Exactly.
That I don't agree with.
You should have the right to attempt to fix it yourself first. The problem is, so many things are. But if we're going to get onto this subject, something that is rather irritating, on hand tools, for example, like a drill.
Yeah.
They sell it and they say it's like a 1.5 watt motor.
Right.
No, it doesn't. Not on, it simply doesn't have that size motor. So they're lying to you in the first place.
So that's mislabeling.
Yes, and they all do it. So I kind of understand you shouldn't be able to take it apart if it's under warranty because you might mess it up. At the same time, they're selling you something that objectively isn't what it says on the packet.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. All I'm saying is, it's not that you can't fix it while it's under warranty. What they're saying is you can't fix it, potentially break it even more, and then ask them to fix it. But I do agree if something is mislabeled or misrepresented, or it's not fit for purpose.
So the company will also be able to see what you've attempted to replace. So it wouldn't be difficult to work out what the consumer has attempted to repair versus what is factory. Because all they need to do is just open up. There's no way you'd be able to get it back exactly right. So even if
but
you
you're
do
talking
break
about
something,
sensible people. There are some people who would do something stupid like immerse something electrical in water because they've got a bit of dust on it. I mean, some people are just thick. And you've got to remember that all of these rules and regs
would that
are
be covered by a warranty anyway?
are dealing with the lowest common denominator. Well, most warranties will cover accidental damage, not deliberate damage.
But how, I'm not sure how you're meant to tell that apart. But there's a difference between somebody dumping something underwater and somebody attempting to repair something that's broken.
Even so, I kind of get where they're coming from. They're not saying you can't repair it. They're saying you can't repair it and then expect them to fix your bad repairs,
Bootlicker.
which I think is perfectly valid. No, I'm not, because I think if they're mislabeling something, you should have the right to call them to account. I do agree with you in a lot of the comments here. In fact, I'm going to read a couple out. Albert says, in my area, they forbade the burning of materials, including paper or vegetation, which will make my autumn cleaning of the agricultural land almost impossible. What next? License to live. We're getting close, Albert. And Bodran, yes, we're going to go with that because I'm so sorry. I'm not being ignorant. I genuinely don't want to butcher your name. Well, the issue there would be that the company are producing items that can't feasibly be fixed. Surely there does need to be some incentive to produce repairable goods. That I do agree with. I hate this kind of use once, throw away culture that we have. I think everything that you can buy and use should be repairable. The first solution to any kind of disrepair should be that repairs are possible, rather than just replace the goods.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is these things are ending up in landfills and stuff. They're not recyclable, and the cost of these replacements, by the way, come back always as they do to the consumer. So yes, I think more companies should have repair teams on their staff. Instead of just replacing an item, try and fix it. But I will say...
Well, why...
Go on.
There should be more people out there with shops repairing things.
Yes, well, they used to be.
Really come back. Exactly, it shouldn't really come back to the company who's manufactured it. They should offer support for people, obviously, but to expect Black & Decker or whoever to have repair teams all over the country to fix a drill.
Well, maybe companies like Black & Decker could be sensible and they could have a network of repair shops that they will recommend to their customers.
Like in the car industry. And
yes.
We all know how much we hate that with car insurance.
Yeah, but they can recommend them, but you're not forced to go to them. With car insurers, you're actually limited to only approved this, that, or the other, aren't you? Like, same with your breakdown insurance. You might have to have an approved garage or something. I'm not talking about pre-approved. I'm talking about just to work with repair shops, local repair shops. Not to be on some approved list. You can still choose to either repair it yourself or go to someone you know.
See, this gets back to another subject.
There should be no restrictions on it.
Over the last couple of days, about the people's ability to set themselves up in business.
Oh, yes.
We're going to leave that alone because we're probably going to do a Let's Talk About on that soon. But if you like this subject specifically, talking about little people getting back into business off their own backs, we're covering it either the next Friday after.
Unless, of course, the chat would like this to be a live stream. I think this would be a great live stream chat, honestly. And maybe we can do a one-off live Let's Talk About. Let's ask the chat. Do you want a live Let's Talk About, or would you rather we pre-record it? And I'm just going to cover this. Lil Bullet says, do you call them a cob, a bun, a bap, a batch, or something else? I call them a bun or a roll. What do you typically call
them, but I don't mind the word bun.
Yeah.
Does this come with a warranty? It might come with a sanity warranty.
It might come with a mental health check at the end of it. We'll see. Zant says they also make it difficult for the small garages to keep up the diagnostics. Well, this again, this comes to small businesses trying to keep up with the big boys and trying to keep up with the tools and technology available. I hate
We're going to
electronic
get me
cars.
onto the MOT. The garage I go to, my family's gone to it for the last 14 years. It's a long while. We've been using the same guys. A couple of months ago, their brake tester broke, and it's going to cost them 11 grand to get a new one. Obviously, during lockdown and all of that nonsense, it's not really worth it for them, so they're currently not doing MOTs. This sort of thing is what I hate, because you damn well know that the only thing that's broken in it is a bearing. Bearings are bloody cheap. Very cheap. But because you have to have this piece of machinery in order to do MOTs.
Pre-approved
And
bearings.
basically, yeah. Because
Wow.
there's very few companies that are able to produce them, because licenses to produce them and all the rest of that stuff, the price of this stupid bloody bearing is through the roof, to the extent where it is basically not even worth just replacing that issue. They have to service/repair the entire thing, and they've done. I think that's why the price was so high. I think it's because the price of fixing it was, and let's say like 8 grand or whatever. I have no idea. The
I
price
want
of
to read a
fixing
couple
it
of
was
comments.
relatively high. 1 minute, let me finish bloody speaking.
Oh,
The
sorry, I
price
thought
of
you
getting
had.
a new one was just a little bit more, so they're just waiting to get a bit more. Anyway, carry on.
Adam says too many overconfident bodgers out there. Roy Bob says Farm Merseyside can't fix their tractors due to the chip locking them out until an approved twat turns up with a laptop.
Yep,
Surprise,
that actually
surprise.
happened on. Actually, that happens the exact same thing on the backboard last summer. They were doing something, I don't know what it was, but they actually locked themselves out of the track. They don't know how they did it either. Like my neighbour drives the tractor, he hasn't a clue how his mate managed to do it. But they weren't able to do anything until the special guy turned. He turned up at absurd, like 2 a.m.
Daffyd says modern stuff's not made to be repaired.
Agreed.
I want to bring up a couple of things that are bugbears for me and for you. And so I'll start with yours. Do you want to tell everyone one of the reasons your MOT failed?
Oh, yes.
And
Absolutely.
why you think it's BS?
Mine failed fluids, chat. Just it failed because apparently there was no steering fluid in it, which I don't know. I'm not entirely sure I believe that, but okay. There was none of that, and there was no water in the wipers, which is completely and utterly, objectively untrue.
What do we think about this being a fail?
The fluid in the wipers is insane. I don't agree with that, and that should not be a fail on any plan. Just put water in it, you absolute bellend.
Well, I was going to ask you, what would you suggest as an alternative to a fail? It would be right. Your
human
fluids,
decency.
Your fluids are empty. We cannot pass this vehicle without the fluids being topped up. Therefore, either you can top up the fluids before the MOT is finished, or we will top them up and charge you for it.
Surely it's just good common sense to say, right, 1 minute, it doesn't have enough, power steering fluid in it, whatever, or oil, or whatever the fluid is. It doesn't have enough of that in it. We buy it in bulk, we get it dirt cheap, we're just going to fill it up for you, say that it was all fine and dandy on the MOT, and then we're going to charge you like 10 quid afterwards. Perfectly bloody reasonable. Common sense. But when it comes to something like window washer fluid, literally just put some water in it. And then check that the wipers. But the thing is, I know there was water in it because I squirted the bloody wipers and they worked. So I don't know what they've done.
If there wasn't the required amount.
Nonsense. Exactly. This is why when you get a garage and they're good, you stick to them. You don't go to other people.
Yeah.
This is why I'm not happy that my poor mate's bloody brake testing thing is broken.
Especially for the ladies, I can attest to this. If you find a garage that knocks money off the price because they can do a job cheaper than they've quoted, stick with them. Because there's obvious discrimination against women because we are perceived to be nincompoops when it comes to running a car.
That's well said.
And this is not completely unfair as a perception. But it's very likely that people who would take advantage will most likely take advantage of women, because we are stereotypically not as well versed in the running of a car. So if you find a garage that will knock money off and not treat you like a dunce and not take advantage of you, stick with them. Give them your custom and also send other people to them. You'd be amazed how much of a difference that makes the next time you take your car in for an MOT. People like loyalty. They really do.
Just
a few people said live, by the way, but not many. So I guess they just want us to go pre-record it. Okay. Right, Hasdak's got a decent mechanic here. Mine failed on emissions, but he blamed the small leak in the exhaust, so he let it go. Very good. MOT inspectors are allowed to make repairs if they're actually not just MOT inspectors, Adam. But yeah, I agree. If that's all they are. Johnny Not Powell says water in the washer bottle is a fail, always has been. If it's just water, I do believe that the rules are now that you have to have washer fluid, very specifically.
Yeah, but even so, what my general point is, just put some water in it, make sure that everything is actually functionally working.
Just tell you that you're going to fail on the fluids. You've got the chance to come back before the MOT is finished and fill them up.
Is that just being? It doesn't matter whether you're an MOT inspector or not. Just issue a 2 seconds worth of common sense.
Yeah.
There's zero reason to fail a car on something I don't think MOT should be a thing anyway, but that's beyond the point. There's zero reason to fail them on nothing.
Yeah. Rob D says that's like failing a vehicle's MOT for not having the correct air pressure in the tyres. I used to have a consistent slow puncture. I used to take it to the garage literally every week and put air in it until I could buy some new tyres. And that, according to these new stupid rules, would have been an MOT fail. But the fact is, I drove around on this tyre all the time. Tash says no one typed pre-recorded. Well, I don't know. All right, we'll do it. We'll do it live then. We'll do this one live. Right, this is my bugbear.
I have a comment from Adam. 1 minute. I have a comment from Adam as well. If there were no/low steering fluid, the pump would normally be complaining. That's kind of why I don't really believe that it was as low. It was low enough to fail. It was low. I'll grant that. I was able to put a fair fluid in, but it wasn't complaining. The steering was fine. It may have been low. I'm not really disputing that, but it's one of my. To be fair, the steering fluid thing, that is my fault. Probably should have checked it. Such is life. But the bloody washer fluid, come on.
As proponents of small or zero government, we agree with you, Hasdak. You don't need an MOT on a 40-year-old car. I think if a car's got to 40 years and it's still running, it's a miracle and it should be left alone. Right, here's my bugbear. I bought some lamps. These lamps caused so many problems, but ultimately the real issue with the lamps were this. These stupid fitted fuse plugs that you can't open up. I'm not an idiot. I'm not an imbecile. When I was at school, when I was, 12 years old, I learned how to wire a plug. I understand where the wires go and understand what each wire does.
They had plugs in 1903. Bloody hell.
Shut up. Right? So I understand what the green wire does and what the brown wire does. The point is, I've wired plugs all my life. But now we're not trusted to wire a plug. And these stupid lamps I bought had these fitted, glued plugs, so I couldn't open them up to see what the problem was. If I open them up, guess what? I'm going to avoid the warranty and I can't return them. And I don't know enough about electronics to fix whatever problem I might find. So this comes back to they do not trust us anymore with wires to a plug, even though by default the plug cannot be plugged in while you're fiddling around with the wires in the plug. It must be out of the plug socket. This is a really...
Do you know...
Go on.
Sorry, carry on. I was just going to slightly change the subject onto something else.
Oh, no, go on. I'm pretty much done. I'm just having a whinge. But it does really just come down to the last thing I'll say on this. this infantilization of society, we've talked about this before. Everyone is dealing with the lowest common denominator because some people are not capable. We have seen videos, Jordan and I, which we can't put up on the stream, of certain people from certain places in the world who use a drill without plugging it in, a big bulky screwdriver, who use a lawnmower without plugging it in and just flatten the grass instead of cutting it. I don't know what kind of connection this might have with a dumbing down of society, but we are not trusted to do even basic things. Children know how to wire a plug, or at least they used to be. When I was at school, we were taught this. We were taught this in physics, when science was actually science. And it was basic stuff we were taught. And now, you're not trusted to wire a plug. What you are now trusted to do, I've got a feeling I know what this is. Oh, no, it's not.
Do you remember this now, Joe?
Go on, play it. Do you know what? Whatever. Just channel strike.
1 minute, carry on.
What happened?
1 minute.
Han de pensar que estando encerrada.
You could have done that without the sound, to be fair.
No. The sound made it so much better. Wait. Speak. I'm sorry, it was on. Right, let's enjoy this again.
Han de pensar que estando encerrada. Vas a
Okay.
Is you singing or crying?
It's just so good. Full disclaimer, I did not find this. AVE found this. And directed literally everybody in the comments to this video. As he would say, for a singer, the man's one heck of a welder. Anyway, I thought that just
We've got a few videos like that.
Your point.
Get a multimeter, Joe.
Wait, for anyone who doesn't know why that's funny, you cannot weld without your safety squeeze.
Well, look, he obviously cared more about his ears than his eyes.
The fact that he cut the bloody front of it out. Oh my God, lad, what's wrong with you? Oh, that was just so funny.
I thought you'd agree with him.
Emphasize what you were saying.
You hate health and safety. We've got so many great videos. We might get brave one day. When our time has come on certain platforms, we might just get brave and put them all up. Johnny Not Powell says, get a multimeter, Joe. They're about £4 online. I could buy one, and I know what one is, and that's the end of my expertise there.
It's funny this is mentioned. I was talking to you about multimeters the other day. I want to get one, and I want to start repairing little electronical things. COVID mask. Sorry.
Just back on topic briefly, Arima says, I think you've hit the nail on the head, Joe, in that you were taught we haven't been teaching these things anymore. This is why it falls to us as parents to teach our own children these things. We must, because schools are failing them. And honestly, I think the way things are going now, taking your children out of school, if you are able, is the way forward. Because there are things that you can teach your children that schools just don't care about. Our children aren't capable anymore. They're incapable of dealing with anything. I'm a bit snowflakey on certain things, and I'm not proud of it. But genuinely, this is a sign of the times, and we do need to start thinking about how we're going to create capable, well-adjusted, talented, innovative children. And the state education system is not the way. It's down to us to place importance on those things again and to work with young people to get them back into it, back into this idea that you are imagine a world where there are no warranties, no returns. You buy something or you make something, and you've got to keep it ticking over. This is the practice run for how the future will be. Remember, you will own nothing and you'll be happy. I don't even know what that means at this point. What does that mean? Everything will be rented? It's, this is something this really is our preparation time. We've got to be careful to not waste this time that we have. That would be great, Johnny, not Powell. Honestly, I was so tempted to contact you when my lamps did what they did, because I was like, this can't be happening. Thank you very much for that. Yes, I have Hasdak. I believe there was the best moment in that film.
I would just like to second that. I would love it. I'm sorry, I just almost died having a drink.
Okay. Have you seen Idiocracy?
Absolutely not.
Right, basically, this soldier, this military, I can't remember his rank, is cryogenically frozen, and he is thawed out in the future.
What? This is bloody Demolition Man!
No, it's nothing at all like Demolition Man. When he wakes up in the future, everyone is so completely stupid that they can't even engage in basic common sense. And basically, there's a food shortage because they can't get any crops to grow. And apparently they've been watering their crops with like a fruit juice. That's how dumb they are. Okay. And yes, so this military operative, soldier, whatever, I don't know what his rank is again. He basically tells them about the benefits of water. And guess what? Their seeds grow, their plants grow. So no income tax, no VAT. Oh, I love Only Fools and Horses so much.
If only, that would be the dream.
But yes, so just quickly going back to talking about this idea of when Jordan and I first got talking about welfare, I said to him I felt that it was only fair that a society took care of people like widowers, people who didn't make a life choice to live on welfare. And he said to me, rightly so, and it's completely changed my perspective, a decent society would take care of those who are falling behind anyway. And you wouldn't need to be mandated or forced. That we would have things, I suppose, some kind of charity, only without the officialness of a charity. You would just take care of the people in your community that could not work or provide for themselves, depending on their circumstances. And then we got talking about that. And then we were talking about the idea that welfare, do we think that the government is ever going to abolish welfare? And if they did, what would take its place? And what would we do if they did abolish welfare? And this was really the key point of the conversation. And this is what we want to discuss, and how many freedoms we may have. So if you all insist, we'll do this on live stream, because we think that you're going to have a fantastic input to this conversation. We really want people to understand that all of the rules imposed on us have been imposed with our consent, insofar as we haven't pushed back. But if you can imagine a world with no welfare, a world with small government, imagine what we could achieve. And that's exactly the point that Jordan was making. No income tax, no VAT being one of those. But the freedom to do things that you would never otherwise have done. The freedom to do things that our grandparents were able to do, for instance. So that's the point of the conversation. What do you think then, Jordan? Next Friday we'll do a live Let's Talk About, if you're up for it.
I'm up for that.
Okay, what does chat think? Should we do a live Let's Talk About? Let's talk about welfare, small government, and what kind of society we might have if those things didn't exist at all.
I think we would have a much better society. At the very least, we'd have a society.
I think we would as well. I think a lot of perceived resentment from people working to those who aren't is because of the way those who aren't are portrayed. Jeremy Kyle shows and various others always portray these people as, oh, well, I don't want to work and I'm never going to work and I don't plan to work. And so what if the taxpayer pays my income? they've done this for years, for decades, actually, to create this kind of divide, again, between those who would work and those who won't. Not those who can and can't, but those who would and won't. So, and I think we are kind of limited by the choices we think we have. Yeah, sorry, when I talk about freedoms with a plural, Aramis, I'm literally talking about multiple singular things. So, yes, but you are quite right. It is freedom or it's not. So English Bird says, if we paid no tax, how would we have any soldiers to keep our country safe? They're doing a bang-up job right now, aren't they? Anarchy, says Adam. Oh, Jordan, what do you think about anarchy?
I think I'm making my tea.
Wow, okay.
I'm good. Look, I'm good with a completely free market. As far as I'm concerned, the smaller the government gets, the better. All it needs to be worrying about is protecting the borders.
Yes. Yes, you need one government, I suppose, department to protect the whole nation internationally. But internally, domestic measures could be done at local parish level, if that's even needed. Tash says, Joe, small government will get big in the end. See the US, as governments always want more power and influence over society. Well, this is my point. We cannot infiltrate, influence, or remove government. It can't be done. People have tried and they've failed. And it's a waste of our time and effort to do things that other people have already failed at. So we can't.
I said a couple of months ago when this was brought up, I don't remember who the quote was from, but basically they said, if you think you can change how government works, go infiltrate the mob and get them to start selling cookies.
Yeah. But we can influence society. We can influence society in a number of tiny ways, which will build. We can be openly against certain things that we disagree with, things that are disgusting or harmful. We can start working together in small groups, which is why we propose always to work with your own community. What was it we were talking about the other night, Jordan, when you said, excuse me.
Oh, don't worry, I'm still coughing silently.
Excuse me, it's the cough, obviously.
What happened with me, I was taking a drink. I've got a glass of Glaver, and I was just going to reply to something you said, and for some reason my brain didn't kick into gear properly, and I decided to swallow and speak at the same time. So I had alcohol go down the wrong hole. But worse still, it's a very thick alcohol. So it's like, it clung on like you wouldn't believe.
It clung on.
It was.
I know.
It wasn't good.
Before.
It's not a good sign.
No worries, Aramis. I know what you meant. You were quite correct, actually, to correct me. So no harm done there. Benevolent dictatorship would be better than what's in place. Well, I think anything would be better than what's in place. Yes, Rob, you mentioned this the other night, actually. We did make a note of it. Thank you very much for that. So what we're basically saying is that... I've lost my train of thought now, actually. What was I talking about, Jordan?
I don't remember.
Oh, well, you were making tea. I thought you could multitask.
I can multitask when I'm not trying to hack up half my bloody throat.
Okay. Right, Johnny Not Powell says, I'm trying to remind myself of what I was going to say. We would have a society of people who either work or starve. They kick up the rear many people need. I was talking about people on benefits, lifestyle choices on benefits. I actually can't remember the point.
I think we would end up in a society where people who wanted to strive and wanted to get forward will too. Because what's really on my mind over the past, let's say a couple of weeks, I have no idea how long, pretty much my entire life, but the last few weeks specifically, I have looked into many different ways to make money. I went into fabricating and that sort of stuff. I just can't bloody do it. Because
Sorry to distract you.
Another
Carry on.
gun. I can't get into fabricating because of the absurd prices on industrial spaces. They are so high, they are absolutely insane. Especially around me, where I'm just outside of London. They are literally twice as much around me as they are up by Joe. It is completely and utterly incomprehensible how they are saying that in order to rent this little space, you have to be paying more than you are, like, more than you would be paying somebody on minimum wage. And I mean all spaces. They were
I've
just
remembered.
absurd.
Sorry to
Carry on.
interrupt. I remembered. We were talking about ways that we could push back societally. And we were talking about, I'm sure all of you remember that poor man on a train who was challenged for not wearing a mask. And we all know the law. There are specific laws to prevent people from discriminating against you for medical reasons. And we were thinking, can you imagine if, say, all of us had come together for some reason, a football match or a picnic or whatever, and we were on that train, say 10 of us were on that train, and this man was getting in the neck, and 10 of us stood up and said, hang on a minute, copper, this man has told you that he is medically exempt. You have no business further questioning him. He has rights under the law to protect his medical privacy. And we were talking about this, and we said, can you imagine if just, 5 people stood up and backed this man? But people are afraid to do this. And the reason people are afraid to do this is because society has become this very myopic State Department, and it has become state departments, different departments. But society is now censoring itself. And unfortunately, individuals in society are too afraid to take a stand for the things they believe in because of the way society has set itself up. If one person takes a stand, everyone comes for one person. But if lots of people took a stand, only a few would come for all of them. And would they come at all? The copper would bottle it. I don't know about bottle it, but I certainly think they would have stood down. I think that these parking wardens and train wardens and police officers and COVID wardens and everyone else, I don't think they would push as hard as they do if more people stood up and said, hang on a minute, you're bang out of order. This person has already explained they're exempt. End of. Yes, I agree with you, Dave. Thank you for that comment. Yes, the government have made it clear that there is it's to do with medical, oh God, there's an act. I can't remember off the top of my head. But if you say that you are medically exempt from wearing a mask, that should be the end of it. They're not allowed to challenge you on that. Oh, I saw that, Tash. Yes, that was disgusting. That was absolutely disgusting.
I didn't see that, oddly enough. What happened?
You saw the thing with the church, where the police invaded the church?
No, I haven't.
Well, there's a video floating around. I'll find it for you. Rob D says, the same members of Joe Public, self-appointed mask police, complaining of people not wearing masks, are the same who were agitating against the burger. Yes, this is the point I'm making. If just 5 or 6 people had stood up and defended that man and his right to be exempt, from further questioning about his exemption from wearing a mask, I think that ticket inspector, was it, I think, initially, would have backed down. Of course they would.
Of course, absolutely.
Because they're subject to the same kind of public support that everyone else is. They would not carry on in the face of overwhelming rejection of that support.
The simple fact as well is, at the end of the day, these people are only doing it because they're on a wage. How much hassle do you want to put up with a job before you say, you know what, this isn't worth it? If they keep cycling through COVID police nonsense, if they keep having to and hire new people because people only remain in the job for a couple of months,
yeah,
sooner or later they're going to burn through the amount of people they can put in that position.
I agree. And Xanth backs up what I was saying by saying they're in effect discriminating against you if they ask. Yeah, they shouldn't be asking. They have the right to ask you the initial question, why are you not wearing a mask? And once you say you are medically exempt, that is where it should end. Daffyd says, I don't go shopping. I've ignored all the rules for a year and never been pulled up questions, nothing. Interestingly, I've had the same experience. But I know that other people are not as lucky, and they have been challenged. Idiots always double down. Well, this is my point. We need to get to a position in society where people will stand up for the things that they believe in. Even if we've made this point before, you know, when those shopkeepers were being attacked, in fact, one was punched by a police officer, I believe. Mm-hmm. These people weren't part of a community, so they didn't really do anything. They were just like, oh, well, you shouldn't be doing that. But they didn't do anything. They said many things, but they didn't do anything. We have to start getting into the influence of society. We're not extremists. We're not, oh God, you're anti this, you're anti that. No, we're not. What we are is pro-freedom. And we believe that everyone has the right to go about their private, lawful business without being interrogated or questioned or stopped. And I just wish more people would stand up when somebody is challenged like that and say they're not doing anything wrong. You have no business here. I really genuinely wish that would happen. I think it will ultimately happen. More people are incensed by the masks and the lack of freedom, I think, than any other thing in modern history. And it's the one thing that could bring everyone together, because it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. This is something that we need to really focus on. I think this is something more important than any other question of our time. That we have hard-won freedom built on the sacrifice of various people in our past, our ancestors, our friends. It's a case of use it or lose it. If we do not start standing up for our if we do not stand for our freedom, if we do not reject their willingness to take these from us, then they're going to take everything. And then we'll be sitting there afterwards saying, well, what happened? Well, what happened was we didn't push back. We didn't work together to push back. I will stand with anyone who is willing to stand for the protection of freedom.
I have a comment from Xanth.
Go on.
Xanth says, few more nose revealers around nowadays.
Oh, spicy comment.
There's something amusing about people who call just putting the mask over their mouth and leaving their nose out. Nose revealers that I quite enjoy.
Roy Bob says, my voting slip say I need to wear a mask to vote. Going to be an exciting day, I can tell you. Is anyone actually going to vote, by the way, ever again?
No. I'm actually not sure I have elections to vote in.
I have some. I've had cards through my door.
Actually, no, 1 minute, I must, because I've had them through as well. No, okay, I'm very confused. Even so, first off, I'm not voting, and even if I were, I would sure as hell wouldn't be masking up for it.
Hasdak says, I don't believe my granddad ran up Sword Beach for this to happen. None of our ancestors put their lives on the line for us to be slaves a mere few generations later. So shame on us for allowing this if we don't do something to stop it.
This is why we need
here is aware.
This is why we need to bring Rule Britannia back as our song.
Oh, yes.
Oh, what a song that is.
Do you know what I'm waiting for? You know that song, Who's Sorry Now? I'm waiting for that to be number one when we win. Who's Sorry Now?
Sorry Now?
I believe it was Vera Lynn. Who's Sorry Now? Have you never heard it? I can't play it because it will get a strike. I'll play it for you after.
Is it to the theme of Dad's Army? Who's sorry now, Mr. Hitler?
No, it's nothing at all like that.
God, that would be good.
Yeah, Tash says, I'm shocked that not way more people get the exemption card, which is legal to use for not wearing the mask. The only problem, I do agree with you, Tash. The only problem with this exemption card is the fact that you can literally download it and print it yourself. And all the card shows is that you went online, found the card, downloaded it, and filled in the information. And you may as well just say that you're exempt, because no one had to sign off on that.
I don't have an issue with the exemption card beyond the fact that I don't like this idea that if we want to go out without one, we have to have it.
Yeah,
there's something about playing the game in that way I'm not sure about.
Well, that's the reason I don't have one, because, and again, if you go back to the principle of it, if nobody has to sign off on this card to say I'm exempt except me, and I'm the only person who can get the card, create the card, and wear the card, why should I bother when I can just say, guess what, I'm exempt? Rob D says, those who want to hide behind the couch for the rest of their days, carry on, leave the rest of us alone. Well said.
That's exactly my opinion. That is the opinion of every common sense individual on planet Earth at the moment.
Andrew says, nope, I don't want to legitimise the regime anymore. Well said.
I like calling it a regime as opposed to a government.
Yeah,
because
it is a regime.
Like military juntas, however you say the word, I'm never really sure. All those sort of things regimes. You call dictators regimes.
Well, most regimes are controlled by a dictator. Well, look at the way Boris is behaving. I mean, is that not a diktat? You're under stay-at-home orders, for goodness sake. When has that ever happened? Even when bombs were dropping during World War II and there were curfews and blackouts, was anyone under a stay-at-home order?
No.
And yet, suddenly, here we are. Zant says, if there's an independent standing, tricked into that one too. Yeah, playing along with this game of downloading an ID card, a medical exemption card. It's to get you used to having to carry in something to prove that you have permission to be somewhere. Not playing that game. Stephen O says our forefathers would turn in their graves to see what Britain has become, or wouldn't they just? Was it Connie Francis? I thought Vera Lynn, but I'll take Connie Francis. That sounds right.
There was another comment, I don't remember who threw up another name. Patsy someone.
Oh, Patsy Cline. Yes.
Joe, what would Greta do? Show us what Greta would do.
I don't know. I think she might go for a cig, honestly, because it's a stressful time, isn't it? It's a very stressful time, Greta. And we're not having no excuses.
I just want to see if Snopes has anything on this.
What, on Greta smoking?
Yeah.
That'd be wonderful.
I just want to know, because they typically have stuff on everything.
Right, for some reason it jumps every time you, I don't know, weird. Tears of a Clown, yes, indeed.
Oddly enough, Snopes does not have anything.
Johnny Not Powell says, I will vote for an independent, but I'm in a safe conservative stronghold. I'm never voting again. I voted once in my entire life, and it was for UKIP, believe it or not. And it was when Gerard Batten had just taken over. So there you go. And good night, Lady Saxon. Sorry to miss you 3 minutes ago. Apologies. Dave says, again, the card is on the government website, so they can't have any complaint about it being used. And yet they'll still push, won't they, Dave? Exemption chip coming. And he said chimp then, for some reason. Exemption chimp, everyone should have one. Adam says, exemption chip coming. Zant says, no one has a reason to assume you're not, and therefore question you. Do they assume mask wearers may be exempt and ask about that? Exactly. They're only asking those who aren't conforming, because that's the whole point. To cause you so much grief when you go out that you start conforming to avoid it. Rob D says psychological warfare isn't supposed to make sense. Oh boy, do we have a really great Tuesday tyranny coming up regarding this. That's all I'm going to give you, I'm afraid. Oh yes. On Tuesday.
Is more than... Oh yeah, I remember now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, okay. I remembered.
Yes. Regarding psychological warfare, just another little greasy, slimy, shadowy government department. some that you may be familiar with. Arima says, maybe I can just make a card myself and no one will know the difference. Probably, honestly. Yes, it's all the same. This is all softly softening you, getting you ready to be walking about with permission papers. Do I have the right to do what I'm doing? Yes or no? Do I have the right to go where I'm going? Yes or no? Do I have the right to be outside my home? Yes or no? Get used to carrying around papers that someone has decided will give you permission to do these things. When you start playing that game, then you've already lost.
Exactly.
Dave says, yes, Rob is completely correct. If you're scared and you want to lock down, you feel free to live in fear. Let the rest of us get on with our lives. Well said. Roy Bob says, I bet a lot of people will feel for this. I'm a hermit. I gave myself the stay-at-home order many years ago. I think for a lot of people, nothing has changed in the last year. People who work from home or people who are, have responsibilities at home or whatever, and they just go out when they need to. And I imagine for most of them, nothing has changed or not changed very much.
This is where all those Greek hermits are sitting there laughing at us.
Yeah.
Thinking I was like, I was ahead of the game.
Yes. Hasdak says, 1997, first and last time I voted. I don't think that voting solves anything. I genuinely don't. I don't see the point of going to any trouble to vote because, these things are preordained. The candidates are chosen in advance. The outcome is selected in advance, decided in advance. Why waste your time? Why continue propping up the system? We need the system to fade away and die. And the sooner the better. Once that system is gone, then we've got a chance of turning things around. And in the meantime, it's incumbent upon us to act as though that system doesn't exist to the best of our ability. Andrew wants an exemption chimp. It might come in useful for scaring off the mask muppets. Only if it's rabid, Andrew. Let us know how you get on with that.
You don't want a rabid chimp. Bloody hell, it'd be a bit dangerous. Even a friendly one's a bit dangerous.
Now, this I agree with Roy. As a protest ballot, I would love to have a none of the above option. I think it should be there on every single election form, on every ballot paper, none of the above. Like, you literally are all rubbish.
Surely not voting is the same.
No, but when I was still voting, I wish it had been there, is what I meant. Sorry, just to clarify. To say you're also rubbish.
When you voted once.
But I was still voting at the time, in that I still thought that voting might make a difference.
Okay, fair enough.
Now I firmly do not believe that to be the case. Yes, Roy Bob, they do require your consent, and it's a really timely reminder that we cannot keep quiet about this stuff anymore. We've got to start. Even if you think, I don't know, signing a petition is a waste of your time, well, it's a couple of minutes of your time. We cannot just quietly sit back and take this. We just can't do this. And again, this comes down to society versus politics. Politics will listen to society if society pushes back hard enough, because it can't afford to ignore it. The problem we've got, once again, is that there is a small vocal minority setting the tone for the overall belief of society. We need to start pushing back everywhere we can, in safe ways that don't put us at risk. But if you're out with a group of friends and you see some cockery in motion, intervene, just verbally. If you see someone being challenged, for instance, over wearing a mask or not wearing one, and you're with a group of friends and you're going to back each other up, intervene. So this person's not doing anything wrong. So you've asked them for their reason why they're not wearing a mask, and they've given you an answer. Now that's enough. I spoiled my vote with a message.
I wouldn't even give them that amount of time.
The vote after the one vote I made, in which I voted for UKIP, I spoiled my next vote with a message.
What'd you say?
I will actually put a message next to each name on the paper. I can't remember all of them, but I remember next to the Liberal Democrats, I put "You're neither Liberal nor Democratic."
You put in a lot of effort.
I did. I was quite incensed. This was when that idiot Jo Swanson,
Oh, that bloody woman.
just before she resigned
blimey.
and lost her seat. That was
What do you mean
amazing. That was an
resigned?
amazing night.
She was
All right,
yeeted. Where was she
Sorry,
now?
she was kicked. I don't know. She's probably cashed in on whatever job she got, right? Because they all get jobs afterwards, don't they? Johnny Not Powell said, did anyone see WHO has completely taken a U-turn and now says that corona patient neither needs to be isolated nor quarantined? Well, they're going to
update on.
Go on.
I have an update on Jo Swinson.
Go on.
She is now the director/partner for New Economy. She is also a visiting professor at Cranfield University, and she's written a book.
Well. Yeah, what's the book on? How to fail. How not to pretend you're going to be PM when you have no chance of getting there.
That was the most amazing thing about her.
Keeping your mouth shut until you've won, maybe.
How many interviews she used to pretend she was going to be PM?
Yeah. She kept having interviews and she kept saying, when I win the next election, it's like, love, no.
Relax, please.
Wasn't there a scandal as well where they sent out leaflets which implied that they were going to be in charge? Or there was some kind of scandal, I can't remember.
There was something. I can't remember what it was. They had... But it was to do with the payment for the leaflets. I can't remember what was...
I thought it was to do with the message. They quoted some kind of statistic and it turned out they were completely false. English Will, this is right up my alley. I will just vote now to be a pain to the establishment. It only takes 5 or 10 minutes, worth it. Hee hee. There you go. If you've got the time, then of course, please do. Good night, English Bird. Take care.
Indeed.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Right, let's carry on. David says lollipop lady. I'm not sure what that's in relation to. I'm sure it's relevant to something.
It can't be in relation to Swinson, surely.
Swindleson, says Aramis. That might be the best name I've ever heard for her. Adam says vaccines and tests are making fortunes, makes you wonder. A lot of people have made a lot of money from this global pandemic.
Indeed, but they still push this myth that they're not making money off of it.
Oh yeah, like Cranky's husband. How is Cranky married? Honestly, I keep coming back to that face and that hair. There's no way she's, never mind.
You almost made me spit out my tea.
So yeah, anyway, so this is what we want to focus on. Okay, community starts on your doorstep. You cannot rely on people hundreds of miles away that you come together with once a month. You've got to make friends and allies on your doorstep, because when push comes to shove, you need people right where you are to protect you, to be witnesses for you, or whatever may happen. We really, really want to push this idea of growing food this year. We really want to push this idea of if you are in a position to grow a bit of everything, you can barter it and trade it or gift it to your neighbours. It's very important that people see that you are a useful member of your community. Just as Jonathan has done. Jonathan has genuinely put into motion all of the theory that we created around the ward system. Mm-hmm. And even if you're going to grow things just to try them out, things that you aren't particularly keen on, give them away to your neighbours. Or keep the seeds and give them to your neighbours as Christmas gifts. And then they can plant them next March, and on it goes. Right, here we go. David says, I have to mention this, I'm sorry. Marriage of convenience, believes she has a close lady friend, Cranky. Yeah, she looks like she wouldn't be married, let's just say. Right, anyway, it is coming up for 20 to 10. I think we've been going for quite a while. Thank you, Adam. I can't put that up on the screen. I can neither confirm nor deny. I don't know enough about it, but she looks like she might be that way inclined. Let's just say that. Yes, she looks like she might be a feminist. Uh-huh. Oh, that's quite clever. Right. Anyway, we want to say a big thank you to everyone who's joined us this evening. If you haven't already liked the stream, please do so. If you haven't already followed or subbed, please do so. For those of you on platforms other than DLive, thank you very, very much for your support. Thank you very, very much for your comments this evening. It's been a really great chat. And we will be back on Tuesday on a YouTube premiere for Tuesday Tyranny, and back live on Wednesday for
Indeed.
the
Tuesday's
Wardens
going to be
meeting.
interesting.
It is. And
Tuesday's going to be very interesting.
And as per your request, we shall be doing a live Let's Talk About on Friday. We'll start talking about this small government and the opportunities it might lend us. For those of you on DLive, I know what you're waiting for, so let's get over there and do that now. It's always great to chat with you. So thank you very, very much, everyone, for turning up this evening. Let's get some lemons in the chest if everyone is ready. Don't go anywhere, DLivers, because we're going to throw out some lemons to you right now. So yes, a big thank you to everyone. Have a great weekend. So we're back on Tuesday pre-recorded, Wednesday live. No gardening stream this week. We'll do Friday live, Saturday live. 7:30 is the time. So that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. And we hope to see you here. We'll wait for the chest to pay out. And then I think that's it for this
That's
evening.
a very nice lemon sticker, Sir Francis.
Oh, nice. Very nice. There we go. So, Sir Francis, top of the pops tonight. Philomena, Roybob, Stephen O, and Dam Dammy. So there you go. Thank you, everyone, for your lemons as well. Much appreciated. We hope you got them back. And yes, enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will see you Tuesday. We'll be in the chat and we'll catch up with you then. So take care for now.
See you then.
Bye, everyone.